You want to know who I am? Folks call me the Bone Man. Ain't my real name, but it's the one that stuck. Tonight on Requiem Radio, we slide into the heart of the French Quarter. Down them narrow alleys and under the glow of gaslight, past the beads and booze and brass bands. There's a little hall off St. Peter Street. No bar, no flashing sign, no air conditioning. Just a battered room where the walls sweat music and the wooden floorboards remember every footfall. The story tonight is called The Last Set at Preservation Hall. You best stay close now and keep your ears open. Some notes ain't played for the living.
The club was closed. The last tourists had wandered off into the New Orleans night, humming scraps of second lines they didn't understand. The lights were down and the air inside was thick with the smell of brass polish, old wood, and ghost sweat. Only Jules stayed behind like always. Jules wasn't a player, not really. He was just a quiet man who wiped down the piano after every set the same way a priest cleans the chalice after Mass. No one told him to. He just did it. Every night, Jules wiped down the ivory, humming under his breath and listening for something. He'd worked there ever since Katrina, back when the hall was half underwater and hope felt like a bad joke. They handed him a mop and said, "Don't break the piano." So he didn't. He respected it, revered it even. But on this particular night, the piano didn't need him. Jules heard a note. He didn't imagine it, he heard it. Not the creak of a bench or the groan of old wood, but one single low note. Then another note, and then a chord, C minor, ragged, slow, and too smooth for any rat crawling across the keys. Jules turned around and saw him. A man in a crumpled white linen suit was hunched over the upright like he'd never left it. Fingers long as willow branches moved over the keys, quick and sure. But there was no band and no audience, just the ghost at the piano. And the music wasn't just jazz, it was something older, a blues deeper than the river. It sounded like grief with rhythm, like longing made flesh, like the city itself playing through him. The jazz phantom played on, wild and aching, left hand stomping rhythm, right hand slipping between ragtime and madness. Then like a wind changing direction, he shifted. He began to play Careless Love. Jules hadn't heard that tune since childhood. His mama used to hum it while ironing shirts. A song about sorrow and shame and love that don't let go. Jules whispered, "How do you know that?" But the man didn't answer, didn't speak, didn't stop. He just played it like he meant it, like the piano itself was remembering. And then silence. The ghost stood up and moved across the floor without a sound, trailing a chill in his wake, and disappeared into the back hallway where the green room used to be. Jules followed, but the hallway was empty. No sign of the man, only the faint scent of cigar smoke and something older, mildew and rose water. Back in the main room, the piano lid had closed itself. Jules asked around the next day, discreetly and carefully. Some of the old players just smiled and lit another cigarette. One said, "You must have rubbed that piano good and hard to bring him out." Another said, "If he played for you, then he was speaking to something in your bones." But what's he saying? Jules asked. The man just tapped the side of his head. Depends on who's listening. The oldest one just nodded and muttered, "He don't come back unless there's still a song in you." From that night on, Jules never wiped down the piano again. He left the bench just as it was, waiting. Some folks say that piano still plays itself from time to time, sometimes just a note or two, but other times a whole tune. But only late at night when it's finally quiet enough to hear the ghosts tuning up. And if you ever find yourself walking down St. Peter Street after hours, stop outside Preservation Hall and leaning close. You just might hear him playing one last set for you.
You've been listening to Requiem Radio, where music bleeds into the supernatural, and that was the last set at Preservation Hall. Some say a soul can get trapped in a place. Others say the music is the soul. Once you set it free, well, it might come back to visit now and then. Ain't gonna be no more tonight. Y'all rest easy and don't let the dark drive you home.